Professor Canon Gideon Baguma. Baguma means they are strong, and Byamugisha means we are blessed. I've been living with HIV openly since 1992. I don't know when I got infected and how I got infected. Those are two questions I am waiting patiently to meet God and He explains, because others, they can't, even myself can't know how I got infected and when. People ask me those questions, but I guess I scratch my head because I was not a virgin when I married in 1987. So I could have come with the virus into marriage. I have 4 pints of blood in me. By that time, there was no good blood transfusion like it was in 1987 when I had a bicycle accident and it damaged my urethral system and they wanted to do blood transfusion. And a good friend of mine, gave me blood, and as I speak, he's dead and his wife is dead of AIDS. I have many injections in my body. And those of you, I can see most of you are young, but there are some age mates of mine around here who know the mean era where the nurse would have 1 injection to serve 5 people. She would only change the medicines. And then he said, next, next, next. And when the 5th comes and he's like, then he removes the injection and then puts on, because they only had like limited supplies and they wanted to serve all the people around. So a lot of infections happened around that time. But thank God we have moved on. It's not even important to know how to spend a lot of time asking how or when I got infected. The most important bit is to know how to live with the virus. And that's the topic they have said about positive living. Now that you have a challenge, then what? What next? How do you get it by the bull of the horns and work it out? And I've been speaking with my friend and also my host, Hope, to say when we talk of positive living, we are really not talking about positive living in respective to AIDS alone. There are so many areas of positive living. You wanted girls and God gave you boys alone. How do you, fit into that and say, I thank you, Lord. Me, I have 3 daughters and they say, and I'm like, no, that's not important. It's first of all, it's been a miracle that I have the children. In 2015, they diagnosed me with cancer of the colon, and I had to do an 11-hour surgery in Nakasero, 11 hours under Dr. Henry Masira. And I have had now to live with that. How do you live, without a colon? That's a new experience, How do you live without a colon? Your rectum and your intestines are cut and thrown. So how do you live post-surgery? I've just returned from India, where I was hospitalized in 2 months. Was very sick, and then they discovered, yes, the cancer is under control. The HIV is still undetectable, but the radiotherapy, when they were burning the cancer cells, they also burnt the left kidney. And so my left kidney is not working. So how do you live with that again? We are talking about positive living with challenges. If you have a son or a daughter and they fail class, but they have studied a lot and they have put water in a bath and they slept there, but they still are not promoted. How do you handle that? So positive living is very important. But I want to thank the Lord who has given me 4 things that have helped me in life. Number one, if you have a pen, you can write them down. Number one is to have faith in God. I think for me, that is medicine number one. To know that I am not an accident on earth, that there is someone who created me, that even when I stayed 2 years in the womb of my mother, when others stay only 9 months, God got me out with both eyes and both legs, you know? You know, when I tell people I spent 2 years in the womb, they say, what? But that's what happened. I fell in Lake Bunyonyi. Who knows Lake Bunyonyi? The deepest, one of the deepest lakes. I drowned there. And my mother miraculously picked me back. So, when you survive all those, how do you not believe in God and trust that there is one time I was moving. I did my O-level in Makobole High School in Rukungiri, and we used to walk 54 kilometers from Chihihi, where I am born, to Makobole. And so I decided I should move in the evening and then reach somewhere and sleep so that I do the journey halfway. And while I was moving with my mattress and pillow, a killer came from the bush and put the knife on my neck and said, "You." Now let me say it in my language, because that's when it comes out. Iwe mwana obuwa kwa tomu farasi nesha ndugu okarabo mukatojo ezisha shona nyokotini chibali kumanya iroko na kusasa. You know, roughly translated is like, you boy, risking to pass through this place at night? Really? You are foolhardy, and your parents don't know that there is death, that there are people who kill. Now, I survived that. So, when you pass through such experience, your intensity to trust God and to believe that if anything happens, even if it is not good, even if it is sad, the Lord who created me is there. You should be there when they are doing radiotherapy, when they are burning the cancer cells. You know, it's another experience. Maybe the Dr. Watiti and others who are doctors here, Dr. Biamukama, can testify that, you know, because they dig the bumper, they put the bumper down. So because the radioactive things are dangerous. And then the doctors put you on the bed, and then they time that by the time you are beginning to be burnt, they would have left. They have shoes that are very sliding, so they slide and they get out, and then by the time you hear a door bang, and they are gone, and then the machine begins burning, you know, 9 times 2, those are 18, and then I did 25 rounds, so that was about 400 exposures. But you know, every time you are there alone, then you remember that now the only person with you there is your God. Amen? In every situation, in every challenge, God. And I think that's why in Christianity we call him God Emmanuel, the God who is with us. So that was number one. Number two, that has helped me to live positively, is the love. The love around me. Love from God, but also love from my family, from my community, from my faith community. Is medicine. Love is medicine. I remember Eunice. Eunice is my my in-law. When I lost my wife, Karen, on the 30th April 1991, to something that I was later told was AIDS related. Eunice told me one thing. She said, don't cry so much. I know you are buzzard, but let me tell you one thing. We loved you before AIDS. We are going to love you even with AIDS, as a family. Get up for Eunice. Eunice, go. Because family can disorganize you. Yeah, you killed our daughter, you know, blah, you know. Come to the church, Bishop Samuel Senkade and team, at a time when the church was throwing their priests away, hiding them under the bed or throwing them out of church, Bishop Senkade handled me and said, you are my own son. For 7 years, I was in the bishop's house, being nursed. So me, Priska, I really don't talk about the God I've heard about. I only talk about the God I've seen in my life. So love is medicine. It helped us to move until there was my brother Paddy follows me. When I told him I'm positive, he said, oh my God, now what do we do? And then he would move from office to office. He was in cooperatives. And every time he would come, he would say, well, in your home, do you have people who are positive? And they would say, why are you asking? I have my brother who is positive, he needs help. Can you imagine that type of help? Yes, they chew garlic. And then I would see him bringing loads of garlic. We chewed garlic. Garlic. Until the ARVs came. Yeah, but it burnt our lips and what, you know. But my brother, then the next day he would say, hey, I'm not even the exercises work. So we would go to Colorado Secondary School there, and he's doing, then I'm following him, you know. That type of support. My brother Paddy, I thank you. He's still alive, he's still with me, and he supports me a lot. My sister Winnie, when I lost my wife, she closed her house and she said, I am going to stay with my brother until God finds him a helper. Winnie was working with the NRM Secretariat, and she said, so it's so interesting that in 1991, that's when I lost my wife. In 1995, that's when I remarried to Pamela, who was HIV positive and had also lost a husband to AIDS. But let me tell you what we did. We went to church on the morning of 28th July, 1995, and from church, I removed my suit of a groom. I put on a kanzu and we gave away Winnie. Can you imagine that? That type of love. Because she said, I will not move away before my brother gets a wife. And on that day, tukamuhinjira. Na we are tungamaka. So love is medicine. And of course, number 3 is what you have heard me said, ARVs. ARVs, please. ARVs. If it was not for ARVs, you would never have seen me. Because in 1998, I nearly died. I lost 20 kilograms of weight from 78 to 58. I had all symptoms of advanced AIDS, except one, meningitis. The rest, herpes zoster, TB, pneumonia, all things I had. I would be in and out of hospital. Bishop Samuel would drive his car, put me at patient's nursing home, and then early morning come back, then they discharge me. 2 days I'm back to the bed. And then love swung into action. Bishop Samuel at midnight wrote a letter to Dr. Crispus Chionga, who was the Minister of Health at that time, and asked him, "Dear Honorable Minister, the doctors have said I'm losing my son. But have we exhausted everything that can keep this boy alive?" And that's the question I usually ask all Ugandan families, all Ugandan communities, all Ugandan ministries like this one. Have we exhausted everything to keep our people not only alive, but healthy? Thank God you are doing it well. When Biamukama and others are checking how they defeated AIDS, they will be seeing Minister of Energy and Mines, saying, yeah, they held this, they promoted health. So, these days, I adopted this lizard philosophy. The lizard, it climbed 1 meter and it thought that people would be impressed. They continued doing their work. She said, let me add 10. They continued doing their work. No one was bothered. So the Changari now said, do you know, now I'm going to climb up. I think now they will think that I've done well. So at the top, she looked down and people were still doing their things. Said, they are not impressed. Now I'm going to jump from up the tree, fall down. And when it did fall down, people were still doing their things. So the lizard adopted the philosophy. From now, I will always not wait for people to thank me. I will thank myself. So she moves 1 meter. Another one. So medicine works, because when Senkade wrote that letter, Chionga called Dr. Madra called Cathy Watson. Cathy Watson gave it to later, and then the medicines. I began taking medicine. Now you see, Muchirabako, that I have been undetectable. The viral load has been undetectable for 15 years. Even when I got cancer and my immune system and viral and my immunology got suppressed, still the last checkup showed it's still undetectable. The CD4, Dr. Watiti, the CD4 has refused to go up. I don't know why. After the chemotherapy and radiotherapy, they reduced. But the viral load has remained. I think that's another miracle. Another miracle. Yeah, the viral load has remained undetectable. The last bit in positive living is prayer. That's what I want to share and end with. So, we started with God, believing in God, 2, having a supportive system around you with love. That's why my second born is called love. I have 3 daughters. Patience is the first born, love is the second born, and hope is the last born. And I purposefully call them those names with meaning, that we can be patient, love protects others. We had to wait for 7 years to wait for patience, because there was no science. But now the science came and we produced love. And then when we produced hope, prayer. I take my ARVs as if prayer doesn't work. And I pray as if medicine is not there. The holistic approach. I take my ARVs. Actually, I religiously, I prayerfully take my ARVs. And my children join in the system to bring the medicine from the drawer and then give me the water, and we pray, and I take my medicine. And you can see the miracle, that the girls are HIV free, all of them. My viral load, actually, things that will kill Gideon, AIDS won't be there. Yeah, I will die of other things, but not AIDS. Unless you stop supporting us to live positively, and so.